Every morning at 7:42 a.m., Mira stood on platform 3 in Mumbai, staring at the digital board as if she could intimidate it into punctuality. 7:42, delayed. 7:47, delayed. 7:53, delayed. Her jaw tightened. Another late train. Another late arrival to the office. Another silent mark against her name in a spreadsheet that determined promotions. She used to love mornings. Now she measured them in lost minutes. Around her, life continued with infuriating calm. Vendors poured tea into small paper cups. College students laughed over shared headphones. An elderly man read his newspaper as if time owed him nothing. And there was the musician. He stood near the far pillar each morning, playing a bamboo flute. The melody was soft, almost fragile, yet it carried over the noise of announcements and chatter. He played whether the train was late or not, especially when it was late. Mira hated him a little for that. One particularly humid morning, the board flashed. Expected arrival, 20 minutes. A collective groan rippled across the platform. Mira checked her phone. 3 unread emails from her manager. 1 message from HR about performance timelines. She imagined the meeting room without her, the empty chair, the subtle glances. The flute began again. Something in her snapped. She marched toward the musician. "How can you play like that?" she demanded. "The train is late. People are going to work." The old man lowered his flute. His eyes were clear and unhurried. "The train is not late," he said gently. "It is coming when it comes." "That's not how time works," Mira replied sharply. He smiled. "You are here at 7:42. The train is not. That means it's late." He shook his head. "It means you are early." Mira opened her mouth to argue, then stopped. Around them, the platform buzzed. But the old man's calm felt like a pocket of still air. "You think my boss will accept that?" she asked. "I do not know your boss," he said. "But I know this. If you spend 20 minutes angry, you lose 20 minutes. If you spend 20 minutes alive, you gain 20 minutes. Alive?" she scoffed. "I'm standing on a dirty platform." "Yes," he said, lifting the flute again. "Standing, breathing, hearing. That is alive." He resumed playing. Mira walked back to her usual spot, irritation simmering. "You are early." The phrase felt absurd. And yet, as she checked the board again, she realized something unsettling. The train did not know it was late. Only she did. The next morning, the train was late again. Mira felt the familiar surge of frustration, but it hesitated this time, like a wave unsure whether to break. She glanced toward the pillar. The musician was there, flute poised. Instead of scrolling through her phone, she slipped it into her bag. She listened. The melody rose and fell like breath. She noticed things she had never seen before. The way sunlight caught in the dust motes, the rhythm of footsteps on concrete, a child tugging at her mother's sari and pointing at a pigeon. The announcement blared. She didn't check the time. When the train finally arrived, she boarded without the usual tightness in her chest. She was still 10 minutes late to work, but she was not angry. Days passed. The train remained unpredictable. Mira began arriving at 7:42 as always, but now she carried a small notebook. On delayed mornings, she wrote. She described the smell of chai, the sound of wheels on distant tracks, the fragments of conversations floating through the air. She wrote about her fear of stagnation, her craving for recognition, her exhaustion from racing against clocks. One morning, she wrote a sentence that surprised her. "Maybe I am not stuck. Maybe I am waiting." The distinction felt enormous. Weeks later, her manager called her into his office. The next morning, the board read, "On time." The platform hummed with its usual rhythm. Mira almost felt disappointed. No waiting, no stillness. The musician stood by the pillar, flute silent. "No music today?" she asked. He smiled. "The train is not late." She laughed. A clear, unburdened sound. "I suppose I am not early." He studied her face. "Are you still angry when it is late?" She considered the question. "No," she said slowly. "When it is late, I arrive sooner to myself." The old man nodded, as if this were the only promotion that mattered. The announcement sounded. The train rolled in precisely at 7:42. Mira stepped aboard, not chasing time, not resisting it, simply entering it. And for the first time in years, whether the train was early or late no longer determined the direction of her day. "We've noticed something different," he said. "You seem steadier. Your reports are clearer. Your team says you're more patient." Mira blinked. She had not tried to impress anyone. She had only stopped fighting the platform. There was no promotion that day, but there was something else, a quiet acknowledgement that she was trusted with a new project. She left the office with an unfamiliar lightness. The next morning, the board read, "On time." The platform hummed with its usual rhythm. Mira almost felt disappointed. No waiting, no stillness. The musician stood by the pillar, flute silent. "No music today?" she asked. He smiled. "The train is not late." She laughed. A clear, unburdened sound. "I suppose I am not early." He studied her face. "Are you still angry when it is late?" She considered the question. "No," she said slowly. "When it is late, I arrive sooner to myself." The old man nodded, as if this were the only promotion that mattered. The announcement sounded. The train rolled in precisely at 7:42. Mira stepped aboard, not chasing time, not resisting it, simply entering it. And for the first time in years, whether the train was early or late no longer determined the direction of her day.